The error codes, Mason, what do they mean? Oh, that's a different meme. Oh well, today's video is going to be over Call of Duty Warzone error codes and the guide on what they mean and what to do. Welcome back to Warzone Central, let's get into the video. Number 10, error HKS. Error HKS will often have a string of numbers behind them that vary, but they all mean relatively the same thing. This error appears when players are randomly kicked from an online match. At this time, there's no explanation for why this error occurs. Sometimes throwing out the device cache can resolve the issue and allow the player to get back to the game. If the player has cleared the cache and this still happens, it means there's an issue with the server and the player will have to wait for it to be resolved. Number 9, error code 262146 and 270338. These codes mean that the game is having trouble connecting to the servers. There are a number of fixes the player can try to resolve this issue. The first is to simply log out of the game and go back in. If that doesn't work, turning off the device, letting it sit for a few seconds, and then starting up again can work. If that doesn't do the trick, players can restart their router or modem the same way they did with the device. The last thing players can try is a bit extreme, but resetting to factory settings can do the trick. This does mean making sure data is saved on the cloud and waiting for everything to download after. Unfortunately, if this doesn't do the trick, it means there's an issue with the servers. Number 8, dev error 6036. The issue typically occurs if the player is on PC. This sometimes happens after an update is installed, especially if there was a problem or hiccup in the process. In these cases, forcing the game to reinstall the update can resolve the issue. It's recommended to follow a more detailed guide to do this properly. If this doesn't work, then sometimes the player can clear their cache, and that should take care of the problem. Number 7, Warzone server queue. Another issue that commonly appears on the PC is what happens when too many players are on the servers. It could also be that an update or issue with the servers has caused the number of available servers to drop and those that are working and bogged down. Unfortunately, there's not much a player can do, and they'll simply have to keep trying to join matches. If the problem persists, then the player will likely have to wait for traffic to die down or servers will become fixed. Playing early in the morning or outside high traffic times like 6 p.m. to midnight can prevent this error from appearing. Number 6, Warzone connection failed. The issue occurs across all devices and means the device is having trouble connecting to servers. If it's a server outage, then there's not much a player can do. If it isn't, then it could be an issue with the local network. Restarting both the device and the router or modem can often take care of this problem. If this doesn't work and there's a server outage, then it's likely an issue with the internet provider. Number 5, store unavailable and PlayStation Plus unavailable. These issues tend to go hand in hand for PlayStation users. It means the game is having trouble connecting to the store or PlayStation Plus. This is most likely to happen after updates that introduce multiple add-ons. These updates often require the add-ons to function properly and crashes if they aren't there. Players can check the PlayStation Store to make sure they are all downloaded correctly. If this doesn't solve the issue, then it's something Activision or Sony needs to handle. Number 4, error code CE34878-0. This is a general error code that often means the game or the PlayStation needs to be updated, or there's something about the settings that's causing an issue. The most common fix is to update the game if it needs it. If that doesn't work, then updating the device's software and restarting should do the trick. If these steps don't work, then sometimes disconnecting any attached PS cameras, restart the device, and disable any settings related to facial recognition. If that doesn't work, then sometimes it's because of a new hard drive, or if the player is running the game externally, putting the old hard drive back in and running things internally is the only solution in this case. Number 3, dev error 6345. This is an issue that appears for PC users and signifies an issue with the game's software. Running the game's built-in scan and repair feature should do the trick. If this doesn't work, then making sure the device and its drivers are updated might be required. If this error still appears, then Battle.net could need an update. Disabling anything that could block a connection, like an antivirus software or safety settings, could do it. If this doesn't work, then fully reinstalling the game might be needed. Number 2, error code 6 and diver. This issue occurs when there's an issue connecting to the servers or an update hasn't properly installed. It's a fairly new problem, but players have claimed that some solutions will work. The simplest is to restart the router. If playing on the PC, disabling the firewall might be required for making sure Warzone and Battle.net have the correct permissions. Some players claim that using standard Wi-Fi for updates can lead to corrupted files, and downloading the data on cellular data can do the trick. Worst case scenario, fully reinstalling Call of Duty can work. Number 1, error code 0x80131500. This error appears for Xbox users and signifies an issue connected with the Microsoft Store. This often happens when trying to download an update. Unfortunately, there isn't much the player can do as it's an issue with the Microsoft Store. Supposedly updating Xbox's software and restarting the router can do the trick, but this hasn't been confirmed. Odds are waiting for the issue to be resolved by Microsoft is required. This brings us to the end of our video. I hope you enjoyed it. Hit like if you did, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out on any of our videos in the future. Also watch the 2 videos that are on your screen because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.